Can't she be more like your other exes? Get awkward and uncomfortable when we start making those jokes and talking about that shit. And
That doesn't work.
So it doesn't work with her?
Nope. Nope.
So this girl was looking at my asshole. Really? You're into this? The fucking Christ. Now I gotta come up with a story.
Yeah, you too. Does really?
Speaking of butt stuff, though.
What? That doesn't transition here.
Nah, not very well.
No, I did. Halloween Kills on Peacock.
So you got to educate me a little bit.
On what?
Because I started Edward Samsonite? Snowden.
Okay.
What exactly did he whistleblow? Because from what I watched and what I listened to, I wasn't able to watch it. What I listened to, he talked a lot about like
you don't have to watch it.
He talked a lot about like Big Brother stuff.
It was 2013, I think.
Yes.
He blew a whistle on the government monitoring
everything, basically.
Yeah, like watching all your
everything, your phone calls, your emails, your text messages, your
emails,
messages,
texts,
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever it was. If you could send a message on it, Big Brother could watch it.
Right. And they were doing that.
That's what I got the impression of, because he's like exiled.
No, he's not.
He's not coming back to America anytime soon.
No, he's not anytime soon. The reason why he's over in Russia, is because he won't get a fair trial.
Yeah, he said that's
in the United States,
and they won't give it to him. They won't. He'll agree to come back and face the music per se.
Yeah.
But only if they agree to give him a fair trial.
Yeah, and they're not going to.
Nope.
Not the way it's laid out now, because I think the way
because of the Espionage Act of 1970, whatever it's called.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. But yeah, he's not. He won't come back just for that reason, because as soon as he comes back, he is
go to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You're in there for life. Yep.
Pretty much. He what was that? Geez, we're jumping right into Snowden here.
Sorry, that just kind of got me because a good example. So we talked about on a previous podcast, on a previous episode, about the phones listening and stuff like that.
Right.
Well,
which, if you go back before all this, even in the last, even go back just a couple of years, like 3-4 years, people, even after he came out and said, yeah, the CIA is doing this, no one would believe you. This would be up there with the Alex Jones.
It was conspiracy. He mentions that in the interview.
Yeah, David Icke, Jesse Ventura thing, where it's
conspiracy theories.
Your tinfoil hat there is
coming off.
Yeah.
Well, now it's like, because back then it was like the way he talked about it in the interview. Like, yeah, they could. I mean, but they don't. And it's like, no, they are. Well, you're a conspiracy theorist. And now it's, they know. And that's why a lot of people, if you actually read, like, I'm going to sound so old saying this. I read the user agreements on everything.
Did you read the user agreement for, now this is kind of off, just bringing up user agreements. We'll get back to this, but did you read, I finally downloaded Star Wars Rogue Squadron, or whatever it is. Did you read the user agreement for that? 47
pages long.
No, 47 pages, yeah, but each page has pages to it.
Yep, 47 sections. And multiple pages. Dude,
I didn't read it. I actually started to read some of it, and I said, screw it, I'm just going to try this game, which I'm going to delete it anyway, but I think the game sucks.
Really?
Yeah. My biggest problem with that game is I feel like I'm flying in mud. I'm so used to flying games being move. Yeah. And this, I'm trying to turn, and I understand it's like, well, you got to slow down to like turn sharper to bank and everything, which is the same way in Star Wars Battlefront and Battlefront 2. Yeah. But I'm doing it, and I'm like, my body's trying to like push the side of the cockpit to move. Like, this sucks, man. Like, and I want to enjoy the story, but I just can't get over the laggy.
I got to get back into it because I've heard good reviews about the story.
It probably is good, but
I think I'm getting close to the end of Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm working with Sadie a lot now.
Right.
And Arthur's coughing a lot, and he looks like shit.
Yeah. Anyway,
I hate to do this one more time though. I already spoiled it though. I went on and I watched the.
Oh, you did? I didn't do that. I purposely didn't do that. And
I was already in the middle of my honor level. I'm dead in the middle, and I'm like,
which way should I go?
Which way? Which way? I've seen all the endings, and I don't think any of them are bad.
No, they're all good. Just I specifically did not, because I got so involved with that game. Like, I don't want to know the ending of what I'm doing. So I stayed off the internet for that, and I went right through, and
Micah, that piece of shit.
It was awesome, man. Yeah, but anyway, going back one step, the 47 pages of freaking user agreement. I saw that, and I'm like, I just saw the terms and conditions, whatever. But then I saw one of 47. I'm like, what?
A lot of user agreements, they share a lot. Like, once you've read one or two,
most of them have
similar terms. There's a certain thing.
Most of them, like, EA can get rid of your account. Pretty much the same as like YouTube and stuff. YouTube.
There's also. Here's the thing, though. A lot of people don't realize this. I prefer it near my mouth. Fuck you.
They didn't do anything.
Exactly. They're thinking the same thing. I'm sure there's one or two people, either in America or any of our other audiences from across the world.
We expanded too.
We did.
I can't remember.
I did see that. But they're probably thinking, hey, he does have a pretty mouth. I don't like thinking like that.
Get on with your...
Okay. A lot of them actually, like, where it comes down to the finer details is like monetary gain, loss of monetary gain, stuff like that. A lot of it is like you release them almost from any and all defamation. What's the word I'm thinking of? It sounds like defamation, almost like defamation of character. Like if I do a Twitch stream and I'm lying about something, like, oh, I'm in a wheelchair, go fund me, and then I get up on camera and leave. Oh, I can't sue Twitch for defamation of character or whatever.
That would be defamation.
Well, not defamation. What I'm thinking of is God damn it.
I have no idea.
It's something along those lines where they basically, like, you release them from a lot of responsibility for any and all, like,
liability
damages that may incur. Like, if you get swatted because someone hacked your account,
all right,
you can't go after them because their servers didn't offer the protection or something.
How would your servers offer whatever? All right, yeah.
But, well, you pay to play nowadays, and it's supposed to protect your information. No one can find out where you are, but where did swatting come from?
Right.
People being able to find out where you're coming from. Mm-hmm. Which, you know, with the whistleblowing, you know, the hacking equipment, the programs they use. Edward Snowden talked about that shit in there. And I'm like, the crazy part is, a lot of that stuff, the lingo, a lot of the computer, the coding and stuff like that, it's basic. My knowledge of it is basic, but I actually have a pretty, I want to say, graspable. What's the word I'm thinking of?
Knowledge in the lingo, just not knowledge in the English language.
No, exactly.
Graspable.
What's the word I'm thinking of?
I don't know.
Like when you have an aptitude for being able to grasp the method, the meaning, the process behind something. Like if you went into a cooking class and like, oh, I got a knack for this. This is pretty good. Oh, I read the instructions. I shoot it. What's a good word for that?
I don't know. There is a word for it.
Okay.
There is also a word for something that everybody in the room knows the word you're trying to think of, but suddenly everyone has amnesia for that part.
Yeah.
There's also terminology for that, and I can't even remember that. So.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I have a good, like, picking up on it. I have a better ability than most, I want to say, who've never walked into coding. with being like, oh, okay, I see how that program works. I see how that file works. I see how the root program, the exploit command. I understand. Okay, DOS. All right, I got this.
Going back as even if the screens are off, he said this. That
Oh,
they can
yeah.
Still, I know in the one video I sent you, which is I think the one you're primarily referring to.
Mm-hmm. It's like an hour long.
Whoever was interviewing.
11th hour.
Was it Dan Rather?
Yeah.
That was
11th
interviewing?
hour exclusive.
Asked them is there any kind of line drawn, like what can they actually do to have, I don't want to say hack, but basically, for lack of a better term, hack into your phone or your laptop or anything like that. It's like, if your screen is off and plugged in the charger, can they still listen? It's like, yes, they can. It's like, if you can imagine it, they can do it. And this is almost 10 years old.
What it comes down to is whatever you can do, see, view, read, listen, play, voice command, whatever you can do on that phone, they can do whether it's active or not. Mm-hmm. Your phone could be turned off and they could still get into it wirelessly, because even when your phone's off, you're not receiving a signal, but your account, all of your online, all of your stuff that is saved through whatever you have, iOS through Apple, Microsoft
the
through
cloud,
the Google through the cloud,
which I figure just makes it even easier for him.
Look at the Fappening. Remember that? The Fappening, they called it, when all the celebrities got hacked. All the nude photos of women were coming out. Yeah.
Yeah. Wrestlers, athletes.
Apple was like, oh, our system is impenetrable. Our security you cannot get through.
It was maybe more difficult than Android, than iOS.
Not according to the people that did it. They was like, wow, we've had harder times like cracking into somebody's personal computer.
You know what's interesting? Talking about difficulty of hacking. You know what's interesting is when they introduced the chip for all of our cards, our bank cards, credit cards, and whatnot.
Yeah.
And that was 5 years older. It was already used in Europe, and they had already figured out how to hack it. And then 5 years later, it was introduced in the States, and everybody who at least got wind of news was looking at it like, they already figured out how to hack this as soon as we got it. I'm like, why do we have the chip? It's better security. It's like, no, it's not.
Nope.
When it comes to hacking, looking in on all your, not hacking, but security, looking in on your phone and all your stuff, you'd think that'd be an invasion of privacy. But according to Snowden, he said they need no warrant because it's a weird gray area.
Well, no, because
the government, CIA,
yes and
no. This is what Snowden said. But they don't need a warrant.
No, they don't need a warrant. Right. But what it comes down to is, once again, when you open up your brand new phone, you just got the brand new iPhone XXX.
Who knows? I don't even know what the new one's called.
I don't even fucking know.
I don't even know what the new Android's called.
But people just accept. Mm-hmm. You allow them to track. A lot of these companies, or these third parties, even these major first party app developers, have user agreements that when you install it, you don't read it, you just accept it to play the game or make the next TikTok video or send the next tweet. You just down and go, accept and go. You're allowing them to collect data, and that's how they develop that algorithm. Mm-hmm. You are willingly giving them that data. Now, a lot of these companies, because I did do some research on this, a lot of these companies, in order to be able to post that up there, have to be willing to allow the federal government access to their information to an extent.
Right.
And that's where like the gray area comes in, because they can monitor your shit through, let's say, Google. All right? Your Google account.
Which that's your metadata.
Your metadata. Google collects all that data to develop a more personalized user experience for you.
Right.
So now you're on there searching lime, fertilizer, ammonia. Now the government's, whoa, wait a second, three major components for homemade explosives. Let's see what's going on. It's the worst part about it is when I was listening to this, it got me thinking, and I actually did some research. You remember the old library? It's just like I feel like I got a crutch. There we go. Perfect. When you went back in the day, I think the process has always been there, and watching him really kind of made me realize it. The process has always been there. Mm-hmm. You go in 30, 40 years ago, you go into the New York State Public Library, go to the encyclopedia, you ask the librarian, I need to find out good uses for fertilizer and lime mixed. Oh, so you want to go farm and agriculture? Well, especially during the first Bush administration, the first attempt on the Twin Towers, guess what they did? They went to all public libraries and said, we want records. We want to be able to monitor.
That was what, 94?
Anytime you...
Wasn't that 94? I think that was Clinton.
Yeah, no. That was during the first Bush administration.
Didn't they try to blow it in 94? I thought there was a bomb.
No, it was like 92.
Either way.
No, the basement.
Something like that.
It was during the first Bush administration.
That was in the 80s.
Yes. That's when the federal government came in and said, hey, we want to start tracking what people are searching in your libraries. So now, John Q. Public comes in, hands him the library card, checks out homemade uses for fertilizers. That's a flag book. I forgot what the term that I read it they used to call it, but I'll call it a flag book. All of these books were flagged, where if anybody brought them out, okay, well, now we want to search that. What else has this person checked out?
Was it that book, or it had to have been like a combination of books?
No. They went as far down to, no joke, like...
That's a lot of...
But that's just it. You got to remember, you're talking about the federal government, which has a building with like 2,000 employees reading every text message between each other, between the country. And that's per county, per state, or whatever, let's say. But both to them, it was nothing. It was a matter of national security. This is just the best example I can use that I remember reading about. They started monitoring stuff like that. So now John Q. Public gets that fertilizer book. All right, let's see what else he's checked out. Homemade rock climbing, learning how to fly a plane, teach yourself how to scuba dive.
Bernstein Bears.
Infrastructure, building schematics. Okay, now there's a pattern. They used to call it profiling. Or no, not profiling. It's the word I'm thinking of. I'm having a hard time today thinking. Putting words into the mic. But basically, if you went down that rabbit hole and you started to follow a trail, they would track it. Okay, he's a person of interest. Now, back in the 70s, 80s, into the 90s, it worked. The numbers I read, quite fucking scary. I'm talking thousands of people that got investigated and actually found to have ill intentions with the knowledge they were getting.
See, that's kind of the catch-22 of the whole thing, because now you have a system where the government, the CIA specifically, can... And
what was the other? N1, sorry. Not CIA, NAS, no.
NASA is an N1.
No.
There's a whole other thing with
There's
CIA
another one that starts with an N, Edward Snowden mentions. NSA.
NSA, yeah.
NSA.
They can look at, which, to my knowledge, I thought the CIA was supposed to operate outside the United States, but...
Central Intelligence Agency.
They can look into everyone's personal information, all of the track their what they're doing, where, especially now with the internet, it's super easy. With the library, you had to physically go there. Now you could just sit right at your computer and do this. But now you got the CIA and the NSA tracking everything, and a lot of people will argue, well, that's an invasion of privacy, which, okay, possibly, especially if you're putting personal photos up. Now they have access to all of that, so now they can also see who you are, who you're in direct contact with regularly.
How many people you're sending dick pics to?
Yeah, You could, if there's any chemical burns on said dick pics, maybe he's experimenting with different chemicals.
How is that, by the way?
It's getting better.
Okay, good. No need for the skin graft?
Who your friends are, specific times when you're, or average times of you posting, so when you're home, when you're not home, which is really intrusive, but on the flip side, you do catch people before things happen.
See, and that's
what I mean. It's a catch-22.
It is.
So, yeah, it's intrusive, but does it work?
And that's where Edward Snowden in that interview does mention, he's like, for the betterment of society? No.
Well, that's why he said he blew the whistle on this whole thing, because this was done without any public knowledge.
Yeah.
So there was like no boundaries, no laws, nothing in place that could stop them anywhere. So he brought this out, be like, listen, they're doing this. I think he said for the improvement of the whole system, basically, so there would actually be checks and balances in everything they're doing.
Now, real quick, for the folks at home who are watching, who don't know why Edward Snowden is in the position he's in, whistleblower, the fact, let me put it in the basic terms. So the federal government has the Espionage Act of 1972, I believe is what it was exactly, 71 or 72, where basically if you divulge classified information, regardless of what it is, doesn't matter if it's good, doesn't matter if it's bad.
Regardless of your intent.
Well, it doesn't matter. Regardless of your intent, regardless of the nature of what you're divulging.
Yeah.
Like you could be divulging bad information for a good reason, or you could be divulging good information for a bad reason.
You could blow the whistle that says, listen, all these guys are in some weird secret society and they go to worship an owl god and burn effigies of children, and it's all head of state, and they're possibly drinking children blood.
If there's the proof behind it, because you divulge classified information, you do not get a fair trial by a jury of your peers. You go to jail for a life sentence. Doesn't matter what your intent or what the nature of the classified information you're divulging is. It could be you're divulging classified information about the hollow earth. Like there really is a hollow earth. Because you divulge classified information, you are now going to jail. You do not get a trial by a jury of your peers. So that's why Edward Snowden's in the predicament he's in. Has been. Still is.
The whole thing also is it's Meta, as data sold.
Yeah.
Which is, again, going by what we just said, going through all your purchases, where you've been, which is like Facebook has a list of places,
Meta.
check-ins. Well, they just this week, a few days ago, they I guess deleted their face recognition technology.
Mm-hmm.
So that's no more, because a lot of people were complaining, which on the grand scheme of things, the group of Facebook users, a large group of Facebook users complaining that it recognizes faces. So when you put a picture up there, it automatically triggers, hey, Charlie, you're in this picture. You can tag your friend Charlie. That's what people are complaining about, which is they came out and said, we're going to delete the face recognition thing. Fine. But did you actually see what Mark Zuckerberg, the whole metaverse is? Okay. You know when we were talking about Ready Player One and the comparison to it? Meta is Ready Player One. The metaverse is Ready Player One to a T. He's in this digital world. And he's saying, oh, your friends say, hey, we're going to go to this place in this digital world. Meet up with us. Okay, so he goes and gets his digital avatar he's controlling to put whatever outfit he wants. He goes through space outfits, cowboy outfits, whatever the hell, and then he picks just a regular looking suit. Great. He says, then you can go in this metaverse and meet with your friends and do whatever you want to do. Ready Player One. Then he says, if you have real world objects and they're not in this metaverse, you can scan these real world objects and introduce them into the metaverse. So now he got rid of facial recognition, but now he's basically allowing you in this metaverse he's envisioning and they're working on to bring in everything you own and put it at their own discretion. So instead of just having pictures and facial recognition, now they have everything. Ready Player One.
It almost sounds more like a combination between Ready Player One, Gamer, and Tron.
So yeah.
And we all know how Tron ended. Tron Legacy. I actually liked it. I don't care what anybody says.
I found that to be interesting, though. I even made a note. I was watching it, drawing these notes up, and I was like, wow.
Well, here's the thing.
This is Ready Player One to a T.
And here's the crazy part. People don't seem to realize this, but the virtual reality technology, you can't really use Nintendo VR. Or what was it?
Virtual Boy?
Virtual Boy. You really can't use Virtual Boy.
Well, that was just red lines.
Yeah. But let's fast forward.
It was interesting.
Let's fast forward to actual virtual reality technology.
Like the Orc or whatever, the Oculus?
Oculus, the
VR,
PlayStation.
PSVR.
Yeah, Sony PlayStation
whatever
VR.
Microsoft has.
Yep, the Kinect.
Yeah.
So you put these devices.
Wii was kind of an intro to the next gen of VR with
the
motion control.
I would say it was a pre-evolved. Yeah, motion control. It was a pre-evolved version of it. Basically, you had to worry about your surroundings, but there was nothing. There was nothing. Like, there was no way to scan what was going on. Like if you hit something, like your controller would hit something,
right?
But it would stop in the game. You wouldn't see what you're hitting, etc. The technology's been there. Like, it's been there to be able to see, like, because you can literally interact with what you're doing in the real world through the game.
Yeah, you said you wouldn't consider Nintendo Virtual Boy, right? That was literally all that was a screen on your eyes, and you're still controlling like this.
That was more.
It was the idea.
It was framework.
Yeah, well, that was them trying. They had the idea of what they were trying to do, just working in the confines of what they had to work.
That was immersive reality. I'll call it that. Not virtual reality, immersive reality. Headache. Because you could literally look this way, look that way. You could immerse yourself in the game.
Right.
And it was like it was your world, but you really couldn't go anywhere. You couldn't move. Like you played the game like you said, controller. But you could immerse yourself into the game, the reality of the game, without any repercussions. Now, virtual reality, different story.
My question is how they're actually going to do it. Because that obviously wasn't explained. But they showed, it was more or less a green screen envision of what his idea was.
Well, shout out to Vanoss Gaming for this one. Have you seen some of their setups for when they do like, whoa, something's dying out there.
Probably one of the dumb dogs.
Yep. They got the whole platform they stand on that's angled in almost like a bowl, and you have to wear special shoes and you walk in it. But it's got the circle thing around you.
Like a slide?
Yeah.
You slide.
You could turn, you can run in it. They use it. Like, I think a couple of the Vanoss Gaming crew members have them. And they're like, oh, this is great. Right there. Right there, there's your metaverse technology. Pre-evolved form.
The whole idea, though, is scanning real-world things and introducing it to... As soon as he said that, I thought, well, you got rid of facial recognition, and now you're scanning just everything and putting it into the metaverse. So you just brought back facial recognition just on a grand scale.
So let me ask you this. Let's say you had a favorite porn star. I'm just going to throw a random name out there. Jenna Jameson. Let's say in this metaverse, you meet up with a girl that looks like Jenna Jameson. So you scan a cucumber. And all of a sudden, You're doing the dirty with Jenna Jameson in the metaverse. Does that count as cheating? Just curious. I'm asking for a friend.
Your wife will hate you.
How did you know my favorite porn star was Jenna Jameson, even though she's like 50 now?
Even if you look at her. Your wife will hate you.
Well, yeah, you're lucky. Yours would probably be like, your wife would probably be like, ooh, let me get in on this. Wait, what? 2 cucumbers. Holy shit.
Oh, jeez.
Why does this cucumber smell like shit? Shout out to the Firebird.
The what?
The Firebird.
Oh.
I didn't want to use a real name.
Well, I've used a real name a few times.
I'm trying to be polite. I do have a nice guy side. But yeah, so I mean, but the technology's been there. Like Edward Snowden said, way back then when this first came up, oh hey, your tinfoil hat's coming a little loose. But the technology was there. People would say, I mean, they could, if they could figure out or had the programming or the software, they probably could do this, but you're talking conspiracy.
I know that's what...
we have the technology. We do.
A lot of people's complaint, their basic complaint is, I don't like the government looking at what I'm doing, which nobody likes, which is a viable complaint.
I like when people watch me do stuff.
But... we already said it's like a double-edged sword.
It is.
So yes, it helps. It can help on a scale, percentage-wise. Maybe getting 1/10% helping. If you're looking at everybody, what everyone's doing, because you can't say that. Well, we help with all crimes. 'Cause clearly, they don't.
I want to say, yeah, you're right. The numbers there. The numbers you used, you probably do use they probably do use it for the. It is probably successful, a fraction of the percent of the of a percent of a time
right.
of the time, for preventing or for actual national security, or But like, here's the thing though: how far do we let them push it? Because how many times, like these in-home security cameras that everyone has nowadays, that they're hooked up to their Wi-Fi. I mean, if every household had one of those, and it had motion detection, facial recognition, the technology was there to detect stress, violence, aggression. Mm. How many families, how many domestic disputes do you think cops could get to before it escalates to the point where someone says, I'm tired of you cheating on me?
But that would require somebody watching all the time.
Exactly.
That's where
But I'm not defending. I'm not saying
I'm not saying you're defending, but that's what I mean. Where do you draw that line?
That's what I said. Where's the line? Where can you draw that line? Because people could sit there and say, "Oh, I'm all for it. Look at the example I just gave you. It's a perfect reason why the government should be able to watch me sleep, pee, eat, poop, masturbate in the shower, and cry for 47 minutes after."
Every camera on me in the bathroom.
4
different cameras, 4 different angles.
All of your penis.
All facing the toilet. Yeah, I know what you're into.
Fucking pervert.
I see you watching me. I blow him a kiss every morning, too.
Go to sit down. No, but yeah. And then you got a lot of, like, I agree. It is, to an extent, intrusive. It is very intrusive.
I think the bigger problem is the meta that they would actually be able to sell. Or if the technology was there, we give the technology to, businesses like Meta or Facebook. And now, I mean, they already sell your information over and over and over to all these different companies. That's why, like we said before, when I can go on Facebook or Amazon, look something up, and then Facebook knows it 5 minutes later, and I'm not connected. Amazon, God. Google, and Facebook are not connected at all.
Oh.
So, and here's another thing. Why don't we get a cut of that? It's our information, what we do. I just thought of an argument to that, though. We're doing it on their business and their terms.
But then
which goes back again to terms and conditions.
But then again, when you stop and think about it, look at your average hometown liquor distillery. Like, we have one in Fort Plain. A good friend of mine owns that. Makes his own whiskey, vodka. Or rum. I forgot what it is. Rum or vodka. No, it's clear. Whatever. Regardless.
No, it has to be your ass.
He will, when he's trying to sell his product to a bar or get them to shelf his product for distribution, sell them to the, what's the word I'm thinking of? Customers? No. Patrons. Customers. When he's trying to get this bar to put his liquor on the shelf to sell to their patrons.
Right.
He's in there, yo, check this out, man, have a shot. He's giving away the shot. That's basically us. We're selling our information to them so that they can make more money by selling us more stuff.
But that's just giving like a free sample, basically. Any drug dealer knows that. You always give the first one for free.
No.
We're not giving the first anything. That's business 101.
No, you give them, if you're talking about drug terms, you give them the good stuff the first few times, and then you start cutting. And then when you start cutting, at that point, you've already got him hooked on his customer.
You give the first one away for free.
No. You give them the good stuff at average price for the first few times. Then you start cutting, weakening their shit. All of a sudden, they need to buy from you more and more and more because the shit, they think they're developing a tolerance when all you're doing is getting them addicted.
All right, spoken from a drug dealer.
Fuck you, I'm not a drug dealer. Business 101, bitch.
In business, you give the first one away for free. Or, well, actually, you give it away for free so it gets recognized. In this meta thing, we're just giving and 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 not getting anything in return other than usually anxiety, depression, suicide rates going up, a need for more. And the information we give is being sold off to all these other companies. And this isn't even conspiracy theory talk, because this is just...
No, this is legit shit that goes on.
Out in the open now. It's not even search it. It's just out in the open now. Mm-hmm. All you have to do is watch the news. And you know what the real fuckery is? Nobody really cares. Or when they say, oh, I care. And that's as far as it goes.
I don't think it's that nobody cares. I think the general consensus, the general thought process is, well, I'm not doing anything wrong, so they've got no reason to watch me. When in fact they are watching you and you're just choosing to be ignorant to the fact.
I don't even know if it's that. I just think they don't actually know the process going on behind the scenes.
No.
The money being turned over, the billions of dollars that's being made off of it.
They don't know that.
And
I'll tell you that.
when you look at it and you wonder, how are all like TikTok and Instagram and all this stuff free? Well, it's not free. You're the currency. You are the currency being traded back and forth. Instagram goes to Facebook. Hey, you have all this meta.
You can sync them all up.
We'll
now.
give you these that aren't on Facebook, this meta, if you give us that. And it's basically a trade currency. Mm-hmm. And now you're on Instagram getting advertisements from Facebook users that might or might not be on Facebook.
Yeah.
Or Instagram. And you're like, what's this? And you click on it and it brings you to Facebook. And you're watching a video or what have you. Or if you're on Facebook, vice versa, Instagram or TikTok is now. There's YouTube shorts which have TikTok videos on it. Yep. Like all these are intertwined now. There's a web, a social media web inside the interwebs.
And then you end up clicking the wrong link and watch a video of a guy getting a rim job from an anteater.
That wasn't a wrong link. I sent you that.
I know. I asked for it. Fucker. No, it's... I don't know, though. It's just... It's... like I said, I don't think it's so much... you're right. I don't think people understand the process. They don't know the process. No, I don't think it's that they don't know the process. I don't think they understand the process behind the scenes, like you said. Like I said, though, I think what it comes down to is they think to themselves, well, I'm not doing anything wrong, so they've got no reason to watch me. So says everyone else.
I can see that.
Yeah. Because everybody knows. At this point in the game, even the older gen, like Gen X, before the millennials, before us, they...
It's like, what, 50, 60s, 70s? 70s,
80s. Gen X is 70s, 80s.
Millennials are 82 to 99, I think.
Oh, so yeah, 60s, 70s.
Yeah, we're millennials, buddy.
Even the Gen X, generation is to the point now where they're like, I might not understand technology, but I can tell you that I can see how they make money off this. A lot of them, yeah, everyone knows, like I said. They just, I'm not doing anything wrong.
And, yeah, there's I've heard, too, where, how much money could you actually make off just selling data, which it's advertising. Any selling of data is advertising. It's exactly what it is. And all you have to do is something real simple. You have to look at how much money can be made off advertising. Super Bowl. Look at the commercials and the amount of money that's paid for a 30-second slot. One slot in the Super Bowl is millions of dollars.
Oh, yeah.
You pay millions of dollars for a 30-second slot in the entire game, not one commercial being played 3 or 4 times. One slot in that game is millions of dollars because it reaches millions and millions of eyes.
I was going to say, the Super Bowl is one of the most viewed televised events in the world.
Yeah.
Like, not just the United States. Like, people from around the world pay to watch the Super Bowl. And then add that to the fact, like you just said, if the average audience, televised audience is, let's say, 50 million people watching a 30-second ad for Doritos at $1 a bag, let's say they buy one every day for a week after that Super Bowl ad, $15 million per day for 7 days. Mm-hmm. That's $350 million they just made for paying $10 million to play their commercial.
Right. Yeah. So
and
there's
Meta
lots of money.
Selling data.
Lots of money in advertising.
And, we could go into hours of talking about how to spin it. Because now it's to the point where it doesn't matter. With TikTok, with social media, Twitter, fucking Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Messenger, you name it. Any social media platform, if you can do the stupidest thing for all of 2 seconds, you've got a viral video, you now have an advertisement platform. Mm-hmm. All you gotta do is, look at how far I can stuff this monster can up my butt. Not gonna do it. Trip and fall and break my nose. Viral video. Monster just made millions of dollars because some idiot broke his fucking nose while holding a monster can.
Or she got sued millions of dollars. Like, it didn't fit up there right and I broke my nose. The weird's a world. The weird is a world. Lard bark.
Hard bark.
Jen Psaki, double vaxxed. COVID-19 positive.
Yes.
Now, do you think she's actually...
I didn't mean to sound excited about that.
She did a little bit.
Yeah, right. I'll be honest.
Do you think that she's actually double vaccinated? Or is this her just saying, I'm double vaxxed prior? Because the administration is all exempt from...
vaccines.
From the vaccination mandate. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't... But whatever.
Oh, don't let me forget. It's coming to our town next. School mandate. 4 or 5 and up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
5 to 12. That's right. Yeah.
New York. No. Like,
well, they were talking about the vaccines enabling it from ages 12 down to 5, what have you.
Oh, the way I read it, it was.
Well, that was before anything was
elementary school. Any grade, as long as you walk into those doors, doesn't matter how old you are. They're trying to get it pushed so that one of these FDA or vaccines will get the approval for it. It's already going to be ready. The mandate will already say, well, this one's
That's going to be rough.
Oh, yeah, bud. So the one article I read, was she double vaxxed or did she have the 2 shots and a booster? I might have misread it.
I want to say 2 shots and a booster.
That's what I thought I read.
The slang is thrown around a lot as double vaxxed.
Yeah, okay. So I did read it right. Oh, dude, that's so fucking horse shit. Such a publicity stunt.
You don't think she had any vaccination? Or?
I don't think she's got COVID.
How does that work as a publicity stunt then?
Because...
Let me in your brain.
The Delta variant.
Right.
Why did the Delta variant come around? Because not enough people were getting vaxxed, so it mutated. Because people were building up antibodies who had the COVID and survived, built up the antibodies. The virus had to mutate to survive. Hence, the Delta variant came around.
Virus mutates all the time.
Well, now
anyway.
we've got people who are double vaxxed getting it again because, yet again, people aren't vaccinated and getting their boosters now. Because the boosters are a big thing. You have to maintain the vaccine by getting boosters. Well, if you're not even getting vaxxed in the first place, let alone getting boosters, it's your fault that people who are vaxxed and double vaxxed and coming soon to a neighborhood near you, triple vaxxed, I think it's a publicity stunt in the sense that they're trying once again to aim the limelight to people who aren't vaxxed. Like, did you see the over in England the video about on a plane?
Mm-mm.
Oh God, this woman lost her shit. Like, you're putting my life at risk. You're putting my children's life at risk. You cannot. You have no right to force me to sit in the same air that he's breathing, because the guy sitting on a plane, following the procedure, wasn't vaxxed, so he was wearing a mask. She saw that he was wearing a mask. He didn't have a vaccine card. He goes, I don't have a vaccine. She demanded he show her his vaccine card. He's like, I don't have one because I'm not vaxxed. Lost her shit. Big fucking thing going off on the stewardess, the flight attendant, and then the pilot comes out and tells her, look, I understand you paid. She's still going off on him. He's like, this is what's going to happen. You're going to sit down and we're going to leave, or you're going to get the hell off the plane. Well, I already paid. He goes, that's it. You're done. Leave. He apologized to everybody, and they went about their fucking merry way. Now, the video, at the time when I watched it, was 50-50. I was watching the comments. You know, this is why people were bringing up the Delta variant. People were bringing up why COVID was still a thing, because there's still so many people not vaxxed. They're causing the people who are vaxxed to have to get the boosters to prevent from the next variant. I'm telling you, man.
Isn't this a psychosis?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Like, everything that's just pushed in the news and how it's horrible and awful. And now it's just causing people to have mental breakdowns because they're sitting next to somebody like, well, I don't know. This is like Twilight Zone. Literally. What was the episode of Twilight Zone? Oh, I can't remember the one where all the power goes out in the street and one house all of a sudden has power, then everyone turns against that house, then all of a sudden someone else's house has power, and they all turn against that person.
Yes.
I can't remember the name of it, but it ends up being just aliens or something like that, just playing around with them. Like,
yep, light switches.
Dance, monkey, dance. You know, that kind of, yeah.
Pepsi commercial.
Yeah, that's what this whole thing seems like.
Yeah.
It's almost like the powers that be are like, who can we screw with today? Let's have some fun.
If she genuinely does have COVID, I am sorry. It is very unfortunate.
I want to say she does.
If I had to put a number on it, I want to say about 75% of me thinks she doesn't. 25% of me thinks she might. Only because they are, like, just what's been going on in the government right now. Look at the approval ratings. Let's go a little political here. Biden's approval rating is 22%.
22?
Oh, it's gone down.
Holy jeez.
22% was the last number I remember hearing.
Is that like a specific demographic, or is that overall?
I think that might, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure now.
Because last number, this is maybe a few
might have been
ago.
demographic.
This is a few days ago, but I think it was like 33 or 34%, which is ridiculously low anyway. Yeah. Especially only 9 months in or whatever it was.
And who was it? I was just watching. It was on CNN or MSNBC. I know it was a Biden supporter channel.
It's a left. Yeah, both of them are.
And they were showing.
CNN used to be pretty objective.
They were showing a video of one of the representatives, I forgot who, talking against Biden, one of his own.
Oh yeah, that.
What was his name?
There's probably 35 or 43 or 40, 41, 40%, something like that, of Democrats, or maybe it's 28, maybe it's a little lower. No, I think it's higher than that. Democrats are actually questioning some of Biden's tactics or lack thereof,
So-
and whether he's competent in the
What
job he's doing.
got him into the position he is today. Fear of the unknown.
Playing the race card.
Playing the race card, playing the pandemic.
That is a huge one. Biden played the race card a lot during that whole thing. A lot.
But he also piggybacked the pandemic
Right.
and was able to get locked down.
Trump's not doing enough. I don't trust that vaccine. Would you trust the vaccine if they just came out with it? That was a big one. His whole administration was saying that.
Yeah.
When Trump was in office, we don't trust the vaccine. I'm not taking
Kamala.
it. Cuomo. He's like, I'm not gonna be the first one to take it. Would you? I think something along those lines is what he said.
Yeah, to the.
And they get in office, they're like, we need to take the vaccine. And I'm like, come on. Can we stop flying a flag and just kind of look at the whole picture and agree? Okay, something's wrong.
I mean, I may be
The
running.
studies are finally in January 6th.
I mean, I may be running a little conspiracy wild with that one about her not having it,
Yeah,
but
you got to be careful when you. There's one thing when you dive down conspiracy theory rabbit holes. Sometimes it can be hard to get back up because you can start looking at everything and be like,
what the fuck's really? Is it that far fetched for them to pull some crazy shit like that? No, it's not.
No, it's not because of everything that is proven and declassified that the government has done for one reason or another.
Yeah.
When they purposely gave the African American community syphilis and AIDS and
Fauci
told them to go out and spread it. They told them to do that. Was Fauci behind? I don't know.
Fauci was involved with the AIDS.
When, again, I've said a couple times, the Gulf of Tonkin incident, a lie that got us into Nam.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of lies that the government has thrown out there in order to either get us into something, to get us out of something, to whatever scientific study, what they were doing with syphilis. These are all things that are proven factual information. So is it a stretch to say, well, Saki doesn't really have COVID. She's just helping push a narrative that these damn unvaccinated people are the reason why everything's going to shit in the country. So blame them.
And
all right, Hitler.
Fucking new religion governor of the Vaxxed Church or whatever it's called.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was very fucking weird.
Yeah, that's right. I showed you after that show.
Yeah.
I showed you that. And it's like I said during that episode of earlier before it was like 10 half hour, whatever it was shortly before I saw that video. I thought, they're almost pushing this like a religion. And then I see that video. I'm like, what is this? Yeah. So is it a stretch? Not really, sadly. But
really quick too. Side note. So for my job, I have a headset. Hands-free driving, I have to be able to talk. Well, I didn't know this till the other day. I walked too far away from my truck and I hear, device has disconnected. I'm like, the fuck?
There's an Asian girl in my ear.
Do I have a tumor? No, I'm like, Asian girl, remember that. Do not let that out of your head. I start walking back, device has connected. I'm like, that was my fucking headset. No shit. I called up the powers that be, and I'm like, hey, little fun fact. I didn't realize this, but my headset, when I'm too far away from my phone, says device connected. When I get closer, it says device connected. Oh, yeah? Why is that funny? Why is that fun? Little fact. I'm like, sounds like a girl from one of those animes or cartoon or hentais, the Japanese porn. It gets worse.
But then it gets better.
I go later that night. I'm home.
I'm watching hentai.
I'm home, relaxing. I type in, I go to Google. I tap the search box. What pops up? Anime. Underneath that, hentai. I'm like, I've never searched for those. Clear search history.
Let's see what it is.
So I go, well, I'm not gonna lie, I looked him up.
All right, so this whole story's invalid.
Yeah, no, but I was kind of trying to make the rabbit fur joke. My girlfriend, do you mean that piece of rabbit fur you rub on your dick every night? Yeah. So I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. Look at this. And the powers that be go, that's a little fucking weird. Didn't you just talk about hentai earlier today? I'm like, yeah.
So I went home and searched it, and it's on my search history.
Like, I didn't even get...
How did that even happen?
I didn't even get the type. I tapped the search bar, and that's when it does, like, the keyboard pops up for you to type on the phone.
Is this what you wanted?
Delete. So it gets better. The next day, I'm on...
Worse.
It gets worse. The next day, I'm on TikTok. That video I put, that TikTok, that popped up, the first video. I'm like, I'm
Leave me alone.
I put it down. I'm like, I'm done. Like, at this point, I'm like, is my phone trying to tell me I should be looking up porn or something? For those of you at home are wondering what the fuck I'm talking about, the group, this podcast, we have a group chat. Awesome guys. You know, we got Tyler, King Ty, we got Rich Rude. We got a good set of guys in this, you know, JQ, myself. We have a good set of guys in this group chat. Well, I saw this video.
Are these guys a good set?
And it's a good set.
Do they have a good set?
I genuinely could say at least one of them. I've seen one of their sets.
He's seen all of them.
No, just the one. He had some gay off with another guy at his grandmother's house, and when the shorts came down, I turned around, but at that point, I'd already seen what I'd seen. Yeah, you fucking remember that now, too, don't you, asshole? But, so, for the folks at home.
College.
I opened up my TikTok, and what starts playing this first video?
Mosier's the one that did that thing.
Yep, Mosier and Arlo. No, he slapped your ass.
Yeah.
While you... All right, so... the first TikTok video is a minute-long advertisement for a movie called 10-Inch Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh, yeah. April O'Neil really gets it from Michelangelo. Michelangelo is his name. Raffaello. Leondongo or something. I forgot the names. But it's a porn parody for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles called 10-Inch Mutant Ninja Turtles. Check it out.
Which is worse? That or... Oh, what was the movie I sent you guys?
Toxic...
Yeah, the Toxic Retards.
The Toxic Retards. Dude, fuck you. Because at the end of it, I'm sitting there like, I don't want to watch this trailer anymore. The guy's getting a...
Oh, the very end, you're like, huh.
Yeah, the Toxic Retards. Look
Brace
up that.
Like you're about ready to hit someone head on.
Look up that trailer. So this is the next day I see that, and then today I'm listening to the Free Beer and Hot Wings show while I'm driving, and they got talking about the rules of dating nowadays. What's in there? There are still rules. What's in, what's out, what's good, what's bad, what can you do, what shouldn't you do. Well, one of the things they brought up, because it's a funny show, talking about your kinks on the first date.
Right.
Is that susceptible? Well, it depends. They go
susceptible to what?
Acceptable, sorry.
Oh.
Is that acceptable?
Okay.
You know, well, it depends leading up to it. Is it a blind date? Have you talked to them? Well,
is she blind?
They go through all these, like, conditions that could make it okay. Well, then it's like, well... Since we're talking about it, we happen to have the 5 most common kinks. Okay. It was...
this ought to be interesting.
Outdoor sex.
Is that a kink?
Yeah, voyeurism, where you could possibly get caught. You're banging some girl on the park bench during recess across from school. That's so fucking disgusting. Role-playing. You know, cosplay. Frodo Baggins getting bagged by Samwise Gamgee and his Vijiji. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
You said a whole bunch of words. I don't even know what you just said.
Then there's Dom, sub, dominatrix, submissive. Then there's bondage. And last but not least, watching porn. I'm listening to the Free Beer Hot Wings show and I'm like, click, turn off the radio. I'm like, done. I'm fucking done. 3 days in a row. 3 days in a row. Like, my phone or society or the government's like, Charlie, you really need to watch some porn.
You need this.
You need support in your life.
This is your weakness.
It's actually soda. Soda's my weakness. For the folks at home.
Speaking of, oh yeah. Speaking of Asian girl, did you hear Grace and Sophia?
Grace and Sophia.
Animatronic Nurses.
Oh, hold on a second. Give me 1 second. I heard about the they aren't like fully active. They're like in the prototype phase.
Yeah.
Where they
answer everything.
Yes.
Fluently.
Very fluently.
I mean, they still sound robotic, but they answer. The whole idea is there's Will Shatner did this actually. He recorded. I can't remember the name of it. He went to this company and he recorded conversations, answers to questions and things. And he said, depending on how much work you want to put into it, that would be the amount that basically you get out of it. It's like the story of life. You could go there for like a half hour and just have yes, no answers, responses to things.
Yeah.
He went there for hours. And I guess what it does is for generations down the line, when you're long gone, you can have your great grandkids talk to a animatronic you, synthetic you, and again, giving however much you put into it, that would be the experience they'd have, which is kind of creepy. But that had nothing to do with this Grace and Sophia thing. That was a separate thing I just stumbled on. And then I think it was after that I saw this Grace and Sophia, these two animatronic nurses. And I looked at it. First off, I'm like, wow, they're replacing
are they hot?
Nurses, kind of nurses, which is going to take more jobs away. I'm like, well, that's great.
Are they
taken? I don't know.
Are they going to try to like make them fully immersive and interactive? Because I could definitely use a physical right now. Turn your head and cough. Cough harder. Squeeze a little harder. Maybe I cough harder.
What if they... Well, the next point I have is sex bots.
Oh, God.
You know it's coming.
Movie 42? Remember with the... Oh, God. He plays in a bunch of movies. He's like the creator of like the iPod, but it's the girl, remember? The kids keep putting their fingers in the exhaust fan. Oh, it's a naked girl, though, remember? You were the one who showed me movie 42, and I'm like, this is fucking funny.
I don't
It's got Hugh Jackman with the balls on his chin, on his neck.
I've never seen that.
Yes. Oh, okay. Maybe it wasn't you then.
I don't remember Hugh Jackman. Wolverine
42.
with balls on his chin? I don't remember that.
Look up movie 42. It's fucking hilarious.
All right.
But there's a part. He was in Save the Last Dance. He was in Pretty Woman. What was the guy's name?
In Pretty Woman? Oh, I know. Richard Gere.
Richard Gere. He plays like Steve Jobs in that commercial because basically it's a music player, like the speaker is like on her stomach or something like that, and it's a buck-ass naked chick, and the research and development team is sitting down with them because boys are getting hurt because they're putting things in the exhaust fan, which is the front door, the vagina, and that's where they put like the cooling fan, which spins at like 10,000 RPMs, and it actually shows Richard Gere at one point. Zzz, oh yeah, I guess that is pretty dangerous. Maybe we should put a warning on it. Warning, do not stick fingers here.
There is a market. Bots? There's a huge market there. That's a lot of money. Oh, lots of sex bots are going to be delivered by Amazon boxes. Imagine how heavy they'll be.
A box delivering a box? Which one gets cum in it?
Yeah. And there'll be a little box with all the accessories.
Oh God, could you imagine that Amazon shopping
The
list?
bodily fluids and everything.
Strap on.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Skynet.
Skynet. Oh,
That's the start. Watching this, I'm like, oh my God.
would you be more afraid of
like the T300s?
Would you be more afraid of? No, Arnold was a T800.
He was a T800, but these are the T300s.
Would you? In the beginning of Terminator 2, aren't those all T800s?
Yeah.
Like they're crushing the skulls. Would you be more?
Those are all T800s, but these are the early ones.
Would you be more afraid of fighting an army of T800s or sex bots?
Sex bots. You can see the T800s coming from a mile away. You don't know that. Look at the fembots from Austin Powers.
Oh yeah.
And the second one, you didn't even know. Didn't even know. Here's a side note. Oh, actually, it's going with the female sex bot Grace Sophia nurses. One is a reviewer gave Ghostbusters Afterlife 1 out of 5 stars because it erases the 2016 film. Which is a good thing for movie lovers.
So then it's getting a 5 out of 5 for me.
And not because 16 was all women, it was because 16 was bad.
It really was. It was just a rehash of the very first one.
It wasn't even a rehash, it was just a bad movie. It was a movie that was a generic mid-2010s comedy, and they just threw in some Ghostbuster stuff and gave it the name.
Yeah. No.
It wasn't special at all. There
was nothing
very
remarkable.
Feminist in it. Half-retarded Thor, Janine. And then the all-female cast. I guess they said that the reviewer said that people who didn't like 2016 probably voted Trump.
Oh,
I like how they just go right out on that limb. You're like, yeah, you don't like it? You're probably a racist Trump supporter. Oh, there's a good argument.
I bet you voted for hangings and hoods again, didn't you?
Yeah. Well,
fuck off.
Fuck off. So I saw that. I also saw the thing, and you saw because you brought up the Halloween Kills spiel, that the LGBTQ community
are bashing it.
Are now going after it because they're claiming that it's hate bashing the gay community because of Big John Little. Well, you didn't see the movie. There's Big John, Little John. There's 2 characters in it. One is what's his face, Stewart from Mad TV.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
I can't remember his name. It was him.
Let me do it.
Yeah, it was him and another guy, and they were a gay couple living in the old Myers house. And of course, Michael Myers, who had this astronomical kill count in that movie, killed them both. Well, they're saying because he killed them, that's promoting violence against gays. Now, I don't know if they saw the rest of the movie.
Laurie, what was her last name?
Strode.
Laurie Strode. You're talking about from the fucking 80s. No. Halloween.
78.
78. 70s. Laurie was... Okay, so either it's gay bashing, or if they kill Laurie, it's female bashing because it promotes violence towards women.
Well, they did kill Laurie. I think Laurie died. She died technically twice in that franchise.
Yeah, but in this one...
In part 4, they reference her dying. That's why she's not in it. And then in Halloween Resurrection, she dies in the first act of the movie. But
yeah, but I mean, in this one, with everything going on today, okay, they killed Lloyd. You killed a strong-willed female character. You're promoting violence towards women. You killed 2 gay people. You're promoting violence towards homosexuals.
Oh, like I was just gonna say,
were they white guys?
Clearly,
let's go race.
Oh yes, they were.
Oh, so it's okay. It's not a racist thing anymore.
No, that's fine. They clearly didn't see the rest of the movie. In the first 20 minutes of the movie, what was it, 12 or 15? I think it was 12. 12 or 15 firefighters just got slaughtered. I'm a firefighter, but I was like, oh, I'd be honored to be slaughtered by Michael Myers. It was awesome.
Ah, fuck Mike Myers.
It was awesome.
I like Mike Myers, but he's not my favorite.
He's not my favorite, but I All right, nah, we're just going like we're just topic hopping now.
Sorry.
It's like, that's fine. Mike Myers, of all of the big slashers, the big slasher characters, Halloween's the best story, best movie, complete movie by far. That's my foot. I rewatched like all the originals leading up to Halloween. Friday 13th was the best. Well, the best jump scare ending of a lot of slashers. I think the biggest shocker ending was Sleepaway Camp. That may have been the weirdest, but yeah, I think Halloween was the best overall movie. Jason's the most creative kill-wise.
No. What? No.
Absolutely. Innovative? Yeah.
No, what? You've never seen a Freddy Krueger film?
I
Nightmare on
know
Elm
most
Street?
of them.
The dude literally, like...
Oh, he has character. Jason,
he's got pizzazz.
Freddy's character, but he also... I have to kind of look over that just for the fact that it's in the dream world and you can do anything anyway.
So you have to be super creative. And these people...
We don't have to be.
Yeah, okay, because walking up and stabbing somebody through a bed with a machete is creative.
No, he's just the most innovative, and in the sense that how many weapons and things
All
does
right,
he use
all
to
right.
kill
If you
people.
want to talk about real-world application, finding a broken
But actually,
bottle...
I can't even say that because in the last few Halloween movies, Michael Myers has done all the same, and then more.
Well, how about this? In the
I
real
really
world,
think that-
let's go with the most creative, innovative, Pinhead. This fucking dude, like, peels bodies open.
Well, that's... I don't
Hellraiser.
really know.
That's real world. In the Hellraiser.
No, that's hell.
No, in the Hellraiser realm, in all the movies. Yeah, the first one, you kind of go through, like, Hell's Gate, and you see, like, Hell's Asylum, whatever, and all the people. But the rest of the movies, like the podium, the column, in, I think it's Hellraiser 3, in, like, above the club or something like that, it's like, the guy ends up getting ripped into it.
What about... this is even jumping. This is the Blair Witch. Did you see the remake?
No.
The 2016 or whatever it was?
I didn't even know there was a remake.
Yeah. I expected it to be bad, and it wasn't. It was entertaining. It wasn't fantastic.
Well, was it supposed to be... Was it a remake like the first one?
No.
Where it was first-person
The first
camera?
one, no. It was... Well, it was a weird hybrid. It was... There was first-person camera, but it was also cinematically shot, like regular Hollywood cinema.
Okay.
But it took the first one... Like, the first one had a lot of, like, creep factor and left to your imagination.
Yeah.
This one doesn't do that. This one goes all out.
Do you remember when that movie came out? The Blair Witch Project, the first one, years ago. Everyone's like, oh my God. That got so much buzz because it created its own lore. It became real. It made itself
Everyone
real.
thought
and then
that Heather Donahue was a real girl and she got murdered. And then she was
on like Oprah. No, I would Oprah. She was on some talk show.
Sally Mae or something like that. Or not,
Sally Raphael.
So she's on one of those talk shows.
Doing it now.
I remember
I saw them like, wait a minute.
I saw her, I'm like,
that's...
Aren't you supposed to be dead?
Yep. And I saw that. I remember watching them like, wait a minute.
The mystique was gone.
Yep. Everyone found out it was a fake.
And that was one of the first, I think that was the first major independent film on a shoestring budget that made
like $10,000.
It wasn't. No, that was Paranormal Activity.
Paranormal Activity. Okay.
That had a budget of $10,000,
and it made billions. Not billions, millions. But still,
billions. It did. It. I can't remember the actual number, but it was quite a bit.
Yeah.
But
and
that was
Blair Witch Project was
actually, I stand corrected. The first independent film that made a lot of money was Halloween. Halloween was an independent film. It was shot for $300. I know Friday 13th was shot for $300,000. I think Halloween was shot for like $320 or $350,000, and it made $70 million. So that's good.
Which
money.
in 1978, $70 million is like $250 million now.
So it's up there. And the record was broke by Paranormal Activity.
Yep.
Of independent film that Blair Witch Project got so big strictly from the... Actually, Paranormal Activity that was all internet push too.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was an independent film that was huge on the internet. And it kept going to these like Sunday... I don't know if it went to Sundance, but all these
independent film
festivals. And just kept like... The momentum just kept going and going and going. And then it got a national release. Or eventually it was national. And I watched it, and I thought the first one was really good.
Yeah,
I think I watched the second. Was it the third or the fourth? Where
the marked ones? I think it was the fourth.
I don't know where the kids go. They go to the grandparents. And the grandparents are like witches or devil worshippers or something like that.
No, that's another movie.
No. This was one of the Paranormal Activities. It was the third or fourth one. And I remember they're at the grandparents, and they're like devil worshippers or something like that. And they end up killing off the spoiler. They killed off like the father or something like that. I don't know. Watching the movie, it was your basic jump scares.
Yeah.
And
for me personally, Paranormal Activity, I mean, I appreciated what it was, but to be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie, I sat through it, and it was the first time where I actually stood up from a movie and I was like, I genuinely don't know if I wasted my time.
I get that a lot watching movies.
It was the first time I ever genuinely, like, because down the road, like, when I was like 21, 22, I'd watch a shitty movie. This is fucking stupid. Why did I waste my time? I laugh it off. But this was the first time I ever stood up a movie and I'm like, I don't know if I wasted my time. I understand the appeal it had. I appreciate it for what it was and what it did and what it became. But it was not a great... It was... I could put it to categorize it into something... TV and Netflix, same concept. It's on the TV for some noise. It's something I can...
I don't watch TV at all.
Enjoy the sound of, I guess.
I can't stand any shows.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun. It was definitely fun.
No, for a scary ghost film, it wasn't bad. I won't say it was a bad movie. I won't say it was a good movie. That's my opinion.
Going way back to the slashers, Freddy was... He had the most character, and because he could talk. My problem with Freddy is that there was literally 2 good movies in that entire franchise. I thought... Oh, no, all right.
3 or 4,
3.
I could agree with you. There was a few that was like...
No, part 3 was awesome. Part 1 was good.
Phenomenal.
Part 3 was awesome. 2 I hated.
You know what's funny? Robert Englund actually wasn't on board to do that. He didn't want to make a sequel. Wes Craven, he didn't want to do it. But the studio's like, hey, money.
That's John Carpenter.
He's like, all right. And even Robert Englund's like, why? I mean, this is...
Sean Cunningham of Friday.
I'll be glad to do it. I enjoyed doing it. I'd like to revise the character, but do we really have to? Like, let's just leave it as a standalone film.
Right.
And then 2, and then 3, and then they realized, oh shit, we kind of fucked up with
4,
2.
I didn't really like 4. 5, I hated. 6 was horrible.
Wes Craven's New Nightmare,
Final Friday was terrible.
The remake.
The 7th, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, I thought was fantastic.
Very good. Where they brought Nancy back.
The remake is... I still have not finished the whole... Every time... I just tried again, like maybe a month or 2 ago. Every time I turn it on, I fall asleep. And it's not even that it's boring or anything. I just always manage to fall asleep. I don't know why. Something about the movie.
Very therapeutic.
Yeah. It's
no, but I mean, even take away the quality of the movies, I guess you could say. Take that out of the factor. I mean, if you put every death, every kill of Freddy's, and like parallel them with every other until the kill counts match. Like Freddy only had like what 30, 40 kills, 42 kills. If you like all in chronological order played all of the major slashers next to each other, come on, next to Hellraiser, Freddy does have the most creative kills.
Michael Myers is going to take over that throne of kill count.
Kill count, fuck yeah.
He's going to, because the whole debacle with the Friday the 13th franchise being held up with all the lawsuit and everything. Sean Cunningham, I believe, did end up winning. But because it's been on hold since 2009, nothing's been going on. And now with this trilogy coming out, with this new Halloween trilogy, and the last one having, I think there was 28 or 35, one of those, 28 or 35 kills. But Michael Myers, I think there was 28 Michael Myers kills in it, but there's like 35 kills in the movie.
Yeah.
It's like, when I said that watching the trailer before I saw the movie, I'm like, wow, watching this trailer, I think they're going for that kill count record, because Jason had like 150 or 161, something like that.
It was over 160.
And
like
Michael Myers, at the time they made that, which is like 10 years ago, was like 40 kills under. I think he's like 8 kills under now. With 8 kills, he's going to surpass that in the last one, Halloween Kills.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that's the whole reason they're doing it. Halloween Kills, the record, and he's going to go like 20 kills above. There's a whole reason they're doing it. It's like, I want that record.
He's killing for that record.
Maybe that's the reason why they, yeah, but going back, LGBTQ is attacking Michael Myers because, never mind the.
But if he had killed a black person, if he had killed if he killed a major black character, it'd have been a racist. It promotes violence against black people. If he had killed Laurie Strode, it'd have been gone after because
I don't
was
think
promoting
so.
violence against women.
I don't think so because in the movie, I'll spoil this one kill in it, which
Mike Myers is not prejudiced. He kills everyone equally.
Yeah, Mike Myers isn't even a murderer because he's a comedian. There's one kill in it that it's a black woman walking up to Michael Myers with a gun. Another spoiler. Firing it, missing horribly. And then when she goes up to, because he's in a car, and when she goes up to the car door, Myers kicks the car door, hits the gun as she fires it, turns around and fires, shoots herself in the head. So I'm like, does that count as a kill for him? I'm not sure.
Inadvertently, yeah, I would say.
I saw that.
I'll give it to him.
I saw that. I'm like, oh, that's good.
That's funny.
Yeah, Mike Myers like, boom, barf.
The worst kill he's ever committed, though.
Let's do that quick.
Danny Trejo.
Myers?
Yeah.
I don't.
Rob Zombie remake, the first one.
I'm going to say this, Rob Zombie.
He was nice to him.
They include the Rob Zombie remakes in his kill counts, but I will tell this. Rob Zombie's movies were atrocious. The sequel, especially, his Halloween 2, was tough.
I liked his first one.
It
kind of bummed me out that they killed Danny Trejo, though. Like, of all the things, like, I get it. Mike Myers, psychological, gone.
Right.
But, you know, I don't know. I guess in my opinion, that's why I liked Rob Zombie's first one. Sequel, not so much. The first one, I think he did a good job with because he pulled that emotion out of me. Like, come on, man. He took care of you. He was nice to you. He hooked you up. If anything, in a world where everything is so bad to you, this was like the one good thing that you should have cherished. This was the one good thing you should have left untouched that connected you to humanity. But you severed it. So there's no more human in you. And Rob Zombie pulled that emotion out of me with that kill.
Two things. One, I'm glad that he did that. That was actually, I was happy in that movie when that happened, just for the reason, like, good, because they're making him an emotionalist, like, beast.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, that one thing that was connecting him to reality, a human trait, was his mother. So.
But he kills her.
Does he?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Did he kill
no.
his mother?
The mother dies. of old age or something like that.
Of old age or suicide, one of the two. It's two extremes.
She dies later on in her life, according to the movie.
Including the remakes. Michael Myers, what was the best kill? It's a tie for me, and
let me hear yours.
In 28, they were both in 2018. It's a tie. One was the chubby, curly head, pig looking kid that was following what's her face, the young daughter, Laurie Strode's granddaughter.
Yeah. I don't know.
Allison.
Okay.
He tried to put the moves on her in the backyard or whatever, and then she like slaps him or something and leaves him. So he's there, and then Michael Myers behind a tree. The lights go out. It's those motion lights, and then they come back on. He's a little closer, and he's half drunk, thinking it's like the guy that lives there. And then suddenly, like, realizes it's not him, and I think he like swings a knife at him or something. Well, there's those large fences with the huge spikes on them.
Mm-hmm.
He picks him up. Or he's trying to climb over it, and he picks him up and he drops him jaw first on it, and the spike goes like through his jaw. I'm like, that's awesome. The other one from the same movie, 2018 again, was the doctor that was basically the new Loomis. When he's trying to get Michael to say something, right before he dies, when he's laying on the ground, and Michael Myers just staring at him, he goes, say something, just trying to get him to say anything, and he stomps on his head, and it splats like a tomato. I'm like, whoa! That was awesome. That was the two of those my favorite for him. There was a whole bunch, but I think I'd narrow it down to those.
Shit. See, I'm trying to think. Like, there hasn't been a kill of his that I didn't like.
Wow.
Except for Danny Trejo's.
That's the one that sticks out in your head.
Yeah.
I think you'd have to go with that.
Yeah, I was going to say. Only because he takes
the only one that affected me.
Yeah, I guess if that's the case, because he takes the TV and he goes, Mikey, I was good to you. It's like,
yeah,
that's not good.
There was a whole, like in the new one, there's a couple other gruesome ones like, oh, whoa.
Yeah.
But I think it would be those two.
Yeah, I'd have to go with Danny Trejo's then.
Freddy.
Freddy? Whoa, okay.
Your favorite kill in a Freddy movie?
I want to go with...
Well, favorite / one that stands out for one reason or another. We'll just turn it into that.
The cockroach girl. The workout girl.
Yes, that's my same one.
Because
when he breaks her arms, even as a kid, I'm like, oh!
And you see her running.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the arms come out and he kills her. That's probably my favorite.
Well, either that one or the veins coming out of his wrist.
Yes,
and when he does that, I'm like,
puppets him. Yes. Because he's like, and you're like,
because every other kill, like, were, as far as like effect on me wise, pretty basic. And slasher movies, you see one, you see a lot of them. You're like, whatever. Jason.
Jason. Let me think. I want to say only because of his face in Freddy vs. Jason, the boyfriend in the bed, and then he folds over. You see, his face is like
priceless.
His face. That's what makes that the best kill. Or I don't know if you want to count it as a kill in Freddy X. Or Jason X. Jason X. The simulation. Come on, come camp with us.
Do you want to smoke some pot? Yeah.
He's bashing the sleeping bag and they're not dying.
That was a nice nod to his Part 7 sleeping bag.
That was like, they just keep bashing it. He's just like, why the fuck won't you die? He's bashing against the tree.
I think actually the most memorable one from Jason, there's a whole bunch, but I'd have to actually go with Part 7 with the liquid nitrogen.
Oh, yeah.
The girls are I was like, oh,
That
awesome.
was good, yeah. Pinhead. Let's go with him. What's your favorite?
Other than the first
Of what you can remember.
Was it part 2 when they're in hell and the doctor, when he dies in that?
When he becomes the thing.
Yeah. That one stands out. Otherwise, the first one you see, when what's his face from the first one actually gets ripped apart.
Oh yeah. Well, that was gonna be mine.
Yeah.
The guy that's in the attic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but favorite quote from those movies? We've got so much to show you. We've got so many things to do. Or something like that. He's talking to the girl about what he's gonna do to her in hell before she goes, go to hell. Ah.
You should be an actor.
I should be. I wish. Just saying. Put us in a movie. We should become NCON officers.
What? What about, here's one, sort of ish slasher, but Predator. What's your favorite kill from a Predator?
Actually, I'll tell you my favorite quote first. But just like John Pussy. Chewing this stuff will make you goddamn sexual Tyrannosaurus Rex. Like me.
No, he goes...
How's it go?
He's passing the chew around and everyone's like, bunch of slack-jawed faggots around here. This stuff will make you a goddamn sexual Tyrannosaurus. Just like me.
That's my favorite quote.
That is awesome.
But my favorite kill out of all the movies.
The last 3, like, pretty much, they weren't good. Well, Predators was okay. The Predator, I thought, was terrible. Both AVP was at best.
Holy crap. Oh, wow.
I don't know if it's a single kill. Well, it's not a single kill. I think my favorite slaughter scene was when the Predator dropped in on the drug lord's pad there. Yeah. And he just wipes them all out. I'm like, whoa.
Either that or in the first AVP, the guy gets like hit and thrown, or he hits the ice and he wakes up and he's all cold and shit. You know?
Oh yeah, when he goes down the whole shaft.
Yes.
And what's his name? The young blood there. It's the young Predator, the youngest one. He's the one that's
you see him all of a sudden. He's like,
yeah.
And then the Predator appears and all of a sudden it cuts, blood splatter. You don't see. That's probably my favorite because you're like, holy shit, he lived. Oh fuck, the Predator.
Never.
And you think because he can't even fight. He's like, oh shit. And then it cuts and you see the blood splatter. That's sad but true. That's probably my favorite kill out of all the movies, and it's the one you genuinely don't see.
That's because your imagination does way more than any Hollywood.
Exactly.
That's old
Just like
school
me
horror
imagining
movies.
watching porn tonight.
Yeah. I could do so much in my head. I'm doing things in my head.
I'm doing things I'm not allowed to.
There's Leatherface, but
Okay.
problem is I haven't seen like the last 2 or 3 Leatherface movies.
The first remake, the newer-ish.
That was
Jessica
actually
Alba.
good.
I think it is.
Yeah,
Jessica
that was
Alba.
2003
With Lear.
or
I think
4.
it's Lee Army in it.
Yeah.
He's the sheriff.
Uh-huh.
He's like, still warm. That I don't know if that's a good thing.
That was a
like,
made-up character for that whole, because there was no crazy cop in the original movie.
But that was fucking
Great, yeah, that was a great character.
He's like, I need you to do what she did. Put the
Oh,
gun.
he sits in, yeah, and he puts a gun in his mouth, and
So, no! He points the alien. There's no fucking bullets in it, or something he says. I forgot what he says. It's probably one of my favorite kills. Comes from the one with Matthew McConaughey with the tow hooks. Because of the tow, there's a tow truck in that one.
that was part 2.
Yeah, the tow hooks
Yeah.
kill was probably one of my favorites.
Or what? No, was it part 2 or part 3? I think it was part 2. That was the one with Oh, what's his name?
Not Matthew McConaughey. No,
Matt McConaughey is in.
he's in one of them. I liked his character in that one.
I'll remember tomorrow.
Yeah.
I remember the name. Dennis Hopper.
Oh yeah. Okay.
He's in part 2. The toe hooks of Matt McConaughey.
Yeah.
I don't know. See, I don't even know with Texas Chainsaw Massacre because, like I said, I haven't seen like the last 3 of them. Just because I'm always disappointed when I see like the new movies that come out, the new slashers. At least with old franchises, I'm always disappointed. I don't know. See, there's a red wave though going on. Politics, elections, Tuesday.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that.
Yeah, which kind of saw that one coming because you were saying before the disapproval ratings are going down.
Yep.
Now the question is what differences are we going to see? Because they got this red wave going on, and Republicans are all getting back into office. Better change some things, because if they don't, there's bigger problems on the horizon.
Oh yeah, some major fucking rude awakenings.
Well, much like when Biden got in office. I guess we'll just wait and see.
Pressure. Yeah. Pressure. Let me work it.